Our
It's
commute
balanced.
sounds like a holiday.
Do you know what I mean? What are you talking about?
It really
Sitting
I
on
had
the
to
train,
sit with
reading
strangers.
books,
But it
reading
really
the
doesn't.
news,
On a train.
listening to a
It really
podcast.
doesn't. No, but it's like I've had to. That is.
Someone in your armpit. Try someone on your tit.
Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
Welcome to Unfiltered. This is the podcast that gives you the unfiltered truth about parenting. This episode of Unfiltered is sponsored by Deliveroo, your speedy shopping destination for baby supplies. They'll deliver nappies, wipes and more to your door in as little as 20 minutes. I'm concerned there may be a few rows. I can already see some side eye going on here. But we're talking today about who has it harder. Like in those early days, who has it harder? We've got Sam, we've got Tash, we've got Priscilla. I'm going to start with you, Tash.
Well, the women, obviously. Like, I don't think people realise how much you do sacrifice when you have a baby. You literally sacrifice your whole personality.
And do you think your wife feels the same?
What do you mean that she sacrificed? No. We had a bit of an argument the other day about how much my life has changed and how little hers has changed. I'm quite lucky. She does all the nappy changes unless she's at work. So I do it, obviously. I don't just leave him in the day.
You won't phone her up and be like,
come home. So if she's off for the day or during the night, she does nappies, I do feeding. So we were kind of having a bit of a debate on how much things have changed. And I said, apart from a few nappy changes and maybe a few night wake ups, your life is completely the same.
Yeah.
Mine is completely different. It's been turned on its head.
Do you think that's a choice though? Because you say that you don't want to be away from him and things like that.
Well, I'm
but
on
if you,
maternity, so...
But if you allowed her to do more, then she would bond with the baby more, gives you some more time
she's
off.
bond with him, but I'm just neurotic. I'm a very anxious mum.
It's the balance because I remember this row, and it was an ongoing row for quite a long.
What about the?
Like
Yeah,
let
let the husband feed
changed.
the baby. Let someone else do something.
But I think it's also the flip side on that. You, as the person that's still going to work, are still expected to function as if nothing has changed.
I get that, but you
still
still
eye
get to
roll
go
from
to,
Tash.
Sorry. You get to go to
zoom
work.
in.
You get to have adult conversations. You get to go for a shit in peace. You have your lunch break. You can have a shower. Like Nancy can go to Tesco's just for 20 minutes and walk around the aisles without thinking of like, are my nipples leaking? Do I look like shit? Is he going to be hungry? Do I have to wear a nursing bra? Am I going to have to get my tit out? It's going to rain. Have I got the rain cover? It's like...
I hear that. And for me, and I
Say
think
but, say
it
but.
was...
I dare you.
No, it's not a but. It's not a but. It's not a but. It's not a but. It would have been a but. A few years ago, it would have been a but.
I get you're tired. You have to do a full day's work.
You got to do a full day's work.
Boo-hoo.
You've got to do it. But you're expected by your boss and by your team and by and everybody else to still as if your life has not fundamentally changed.
Yeah,
you're supposed because for me, for example, with my eldest, I got 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
So I got 2 weeks off. 2 weeks off where effectively
nights, yeah.
I've had sleepless nights. Sleepless nights. Also helping not only my child who's now new to the world, but also helping my wife recover. And then I've just got to get up on day 15 and go back to work and operate as if nothing has changed.
Do you not think
nonsense.
that the women have a full-time job every
Oh,
single day?
100%.
Can I
15, 16 hours.
Can I pull up my violin, please? Can I
With
pull
a
up?
child.
No, I'm just saying. Can I pull up my violin?
I do get
So I'm a single mother.
Yeah.
So I have to work and do all of that. I don't get to stay at home. Like when my child was born, the next day I did a show. Do you know what I mean? The next day, and I was paralyzed when I got home. Literally paralyzed. I couldn't move because I didn't realize. Yeah, because your bones are like kind of they all break for you to give birth.
Just the next day.
Yeah, the next
And
day.
when you say a show, you mean...
I was singing, yeah. So I was singing, and it was a commitment that I had like way before, and my child was supposed to be like I was supposed to give birth to him like earlier. He was late. And so I was like, everything's planned. I was like, da-da. And then it was like, do you want to cancel the show? I was like, I've never cancelled anything in my life. So I got up, did the show, went home. And then in the night, I just couldn't move. My legs stopped working. And then he was crying. So I had to shove out of bed and shiver on the floor and go all the way to my son. So that's what you call struggle, honey. Do you know what I mean? Like, I had to go back to work and do it by myself.
I think you say that sounds beyond difficult.
Yeah.
But I think just because one experience is different to another doesn't negate the struggle of the other.
100%.
And I remember my husband going back to work and him finding it so difficult to be away because I was an absolute mental head case. Like I still lost my mind with everything. And there's this baby that existed that at the time I was like, I don't know if I love it. Like I don't really have a bond with it. I don't know. I know I've got to keep it alive. I know I've got to look after it.
Yeah.
But, and I think it's really hard. Like
I think the 2 weeks paternity, because obviously my wife only got 2 weeks paternity as well. I mean, where we work, we could have split it 6 months and 6 months. Absolutely not. So she had 2 weeks. And I do think it's really unfair. Like, I'm with you on that. Like, because it still is a big change for the other parent. And it is the sleepless nights. And those beginning bits are the worst. Like, he's quite good now. He probably only gets up once a night. But in the early days, when it was like every 2 hours he had to be fed. And each time he's fed, he takes an hour to get put back down. And then you've got to do the dreaded transfer from your arms into the crib. And it's just like, ugh. So, like, each wake takes about, let's say like 2 hours sometimes. When my wife was beside me, having the audacity to be snoring while I'm sitting there trying to stay still in the pitch black, trying to do everything not to wake up my son, I wanted to punch her in the face. Like punch her in the face. And then like when I'm kind of shaking her to get up to help me with the transfer, she's huffing and puffing. Like, oh, what did she say to me? When you wake me up, can you just put your hand on me? Don't shake me.
Wow.
I was like, I'll shake you with a baseball bat. Actually,
I remember my husband having the audacity one morning to say, oh, I'm so tired. I really didn't sleep very well.
Wow.
Divorce. Divorce. Yeah. Yeah,
But-
definitely the women.
You know,
would you
I mean, he would argue, yeah, I know, but I've got to go to work and I've got to be...
Yeah, I've had that argument so many times. I'm tired. I've got to do a full day of work. I'm tired. I have to keep a baby alive for 15 hours till you get home. Like, yeah. I mean, they're both hard. I get it. We both, like, work hard jobs that are important that you can't be tired for. My partner also works in a prison. But I'm keeping someone alive. I think mine's way more harder.
See, I was a solid sleeper until we had kids, and then I wake at if they go in their sleep,
Yeah.
I'm up like this, so I'm immediately awake.
Yeah.
So even in those early days, I'd be getting up as well to help or support as useful as I could be because we were breastfeeding. But I think it's the understanding of the brutality of just like, right, you've not had a good night's sleep. You're not only trying to keep yourself functioning, you're trying to support and keeping another life alive, helping your wife or partner recover from a physically unbelievable experience that is exhausting. I think I remember the doctor saying at this point, like, this is the pain of this contraction is like your wife breaking both her legs at the same time. So she's gone through all of that, and the expectation on you is you just have to hold your shit together, keep all of this going, and then also go into work, function as if nothing has happened, and deliver to the level that you don't fall below it, so that you still meet your expectations, you still get that promotion, you still do all of this stuff, and if you've got a team reporting to you, balancing all of that. And then come back, and it could have been, and this is the thing, it could have been an absolutely shit day in the office. You come home, your wife's had a shit day as well because the baby's been shit. So the baby's been shit. But
No,
then,
I get you.
And then you're just like, where the fuck do I go?
You got to keep it.
Need nappies in a hurry? Then you really need Deliveroo.
Yeah, and where do I get to release my
Yeah.
my piece?
Unfortunately, as the non-birthing partner, you are the lowest priority.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
it's true.
And I say that in the nicest possible way, because I said this to my wife last week. The priority is the baby. The second priority is the birthing person, because they have to keep the baby alive. So their mental health and physical health is important. And unfortunately, you're on the lowest rung because like...
I remember my husband saying, you know, look, when I come home from work, I've had a really difficult day. Can I just have like just 20 minutes when I come home before
Can I just jump in the shower
before you? And I was like, no, I'll tell you what you can do. You can pull over in a lay-by before you get home, and you can have 20 minutes there, because the very second you are walking in this door, like I can't deal with knowing you're in the house.
Same.
The rage it would like rise up within me.
I hate it when my wife says, just give me 2 minutes. Hold on, just give me 2 minutes. Or if I'm like, can you pass me the breast pump? Just give me 2 minutes. I would do anything for 2 minutes. Like what I would do with 2 minutes. I can't say right now.
But this is the thing. Like, you no longer get those like 5 minutes, 2 minutes in the house. So the only place, like, I had to work out, like, I have to de-stress and reconfigure myself on a shitty commute back from the train station, crammed with someone up my armpit, somebody pushing me in the back. But I've got to de-stress, ready to go.
Trying to make this sound really hard.
This sounds amazing. What about your
I had to get a train.
when you go to
I
the
had to be in
toilet?
public. like,
Our commute sounds like a holiday.
do you know what I mean? What are you talking about?
It really
I had to
doesn't.
sit with strangers.
But it really doesn't.
On a train.
It really doesn't. No, but it's like I've had to. That is.
Someone in your armpit. Try someone on your tit.
Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
But that person, but that person on your tit has been invited to your tit. This person's up my armpit.
It's not
Hold
true.
on.
Like,
I'm getting a call.
is up my.
No one cares.
But this is the challenge, right? You are no longer the priority in a relationship that you were previously one half of the priority.
Yeah.
But then you also have to deprioritize yourself.
Yes.
But still, the rest of the world expects you to still operate as if you are
that's true.
I get
central
you.
focus.
We
And
hear
that-
you.
that-
I'm just
that-
mocking.
Yeah, we're only
Yeah.
Don't worry, it's
I
fine.
get it.
What about for you? Because you must find it like I honestly do not know how single parents do it. When my husband goes away from work and I have like the kids for like 3 days by myself, I mean, when he comes home, I'm like, thank you for coming back. Thank you for not leaving me. Like, it's like, I find it so hard.
No, I don't know, because I'm quite childlike. I enjoy kids. Like, it's fun for me. There's only been like a few times.
Oh, come on.
No, honestly,
No.
there's only been a few times where I told you. Remember, I'm one of 10. I'm used to the carnage. Like, we're used to it.
What about
Like,
the early days?
I'm one of
though?
6.
Night feeds.
No, there was only one. I still remember it like it was yesterday. There was one day I was by myself. Mum was abroad, and he kept crying for like 4 hours straight. And I sat there in the bed like that, and I looked in one space. You know, like I turned into someone else, and I swear I went crazy. I was like, yeah, you be crazy, you know, turned to like Gollum or something.
Yeah.
And then I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I called her and I was like, Mum, I think I've gone mad. And she was like, you haven't. She's like, you haven't gone mad. That's normal. Try 10 kids. Shut up. She put the phone down on me. She's like, try 10 kids and no one cares. Cry me a river. I was like, like, I thought that was scary, but that was the only time. Once she said that, I was like, okay, reality, babies cry, it's okay. You know, I started going on Google, I started going on YouTube.
Why is my baby crying?
No, I did. I tried to figure out different ways of, like, you know, they call it when they're crying and you still put them to sleep thing and you leave them.
Oh, we cry it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I tried all the methods.
Yeah.
So I've done every method of everything. Like, it's crazy. I was like, I've done that for like 2 weeks. I was like, that didn't work.
Yeah.
I tried the whole cotton sleeping with me thing. Sleeps on my chest, put him in the cot. That didn't work. He just grew out of it. He was himself.
Right,
you know?
hats off to you. I don't know how you
Yeah.
did that.
Yeah. Yeah. Even now, like, my son is so, like, when my friends come around, they can't believe it. I'm like, it's 7:30. He goes, no worries, Mum. He's going to brush his teeth, put his pajamas on. I'm going to read my chapter book and then go to bed and read himself to sleep. Does not hassle me because of routine. That's what I say. The cure to anything with a child is routine. If they do that from zero, your life is bliss.
I mean,
my life is blissful.
routine. Like we have a set bedtime.
Yeah.
And we
haven't got
read a
that yet.
story every night, and but you can guarantee it's still a shit show.
Yeah. Because I remember.
But you got more than one as well.
I remember previously my wife used to work. My wife used to work every Saturday, so every Saturday it was me. Right, we've got this birthday party we need to go to. Then we've got to do this. Then I need to keep you engaged. But then I also want some time. And I just got absolutely frazzled. I was like, I don't know what you need to do, but this is not no more, 'cause
And that was just one day.
yeah, make Saturdays great again for me because this is too much.
When we had when we had Fred, so he was 2 months early. I was very, very ill in hospital and had to have multiple. It was a horrible way to have a baby. I had to have multiple surgeries afterwards. He came out of hospital before I did. And during this whole time, like my mum was super helpful, and my mum came and stayed with us at home. And so at home, it was my mum, my husband, and then our 4-year-old. And she sort of was able to keep things like normal for my 4-year-old. And my husband to this day will argue that he had the harder time of it during that period.
Wow.
Because he was at home with my mum. To be honest, sometimes I agree with him.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I think it's like everyone has got unique challenges.
Yeah.
And it's not a competition, but it's just
Yeah.
an appreciation.
It is.
It's an appreciation. You got to have a bit of empathy. Like, I remember the one line that always sticks in my mind from our NTT class, which I turned up to so hungover, but that's a different story.
Yeah.
Was that you have to have an appreciation. You may have had a shit day at work, and then you come home and you see that the house is a state. Your wife is just sat there with a glass of wine. She's also had a.
Life sounds amazing.
She's also had.
She's living the life.
She's we're only around the corner now. You're in Bromley. Pop over. She maybe sat there with the house is a mess, but holding a glass of wine. Just realised you both had a shit day. Order a takeaway. And both just take
I
that
think it
space.
is hard as well for the working parent as well, because like you said, like your wife's been there, like, or I've been there all day. Like you wait for your partner to come home and you're so excited, and like it's your only bit of adult conversation.
Yeah.
So it's like they need to show up and have a bit of like oomph about them.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, I'm coming in. Like you haven't seen another adult all day. Like, you haven't spoken to anyone. So I'm kind of like, hi. Like, what have you been doing? Tell me something.
Yeah.
Like, because you've been talking in baby voices all day, or like the only other adult you've seen is the person that you've ordered a coffee from, like around the park. So like it is hard, and I do get it, and I am appreciative. Like you've had to go to work all day, and it's almost like you have to come home and like entertain your wife and the baby, not just the baby. I'm really bad. I'm like, he hasn't done any tummy time, he hasn't done this, he hasn't done that. There you go.
You know what, that brings me on as well, because I think it's all about mental health as well. Only when my child was like 1, I realised that I was important too. Like in the first year, I just thought it was all about him, and that was the problem for me.
Yeah.
Now I do everything that makes me happy, you know,
You've
as well
got
as
to be
him.
happy to make your child
100%,
happy. You can't sit there crying with the baby. Like,
if I want to do something, he comes with me. We do things together. We make activities. We have lists. I don't just work. I do things that I enjoy outside of work as well. If you keep feeding yourself in all those different, do you know what I mean, in life, then you become okay.
Yeah.
That's why I think I'm quite mentally settled, because I do everything. I rave, I eat. Do you know what I mean? I paint, I draw, I write, I do whatever makes me happy.
And
I do
think
it.
I think from a man's point of view, like my wife has told me a fair few times, I love you all, but you all just need to fuck off away from me. Just leave me. So what I would do is like, right, you go and stay in a hotel.
Yeah.
Because it's more convenient, and have a bath.
wow.
Have you got a brother?
Where did she find you?
Just hook me
Like
up.
I said in the
You
tired.
tell the truth. If I make friends with your wife, I'm like, has he?
like I
Do you know
said,
what I mean?
like I said in a
I'm
previous
tired.
episode,
Send
ladies
me
and
a
gentlemen,
brother.
I am a catch.
Arguing over whose turn it is to shop for baby supplies? Let Deliveroo help with stores including Boots, Sainsbury's, Morrison's and Asda.